Hey, how we doing, everybody? Episode 3 of the Inner Circle podcast. Zach Klein, Todd France, Aaron Donald, and Matt Ryan. We have every corner covered of the Joe Burrow turf toe surgery situation. I mean, if you're the Bengals, are you looking at Kirk Cousins maybe for the next 3 months? We're going to have a reaction from our 2 MVPs on this. Plus, AD is going to let us know if the Tush push can be stopped. Matt will weigh in on what's going on in South Florida, man. The Dolphins are having major issues there. And how about this? Our guy Todd, T. France, is buying everybody out there dinner as his client, Tyler Smith from the Dallas Cowboys, the now highest paid guard in the history of the National Football League. Yeah, I'm curious to use what kind of comps he uses for linemen in the negotiating process. We've got our 2-minute drill. We got 99 problems. We got real talk on the way. But first, gentlemen, it's been a week since we last talked. What's been the highlight for everybody? How we doing?
Let's get straight to it. Matt Ryan, you looked awesome on the CBS desk this weekend. I love the no sock look. Tell us about the no sock look. How'd you come up with that?
To be honest with you, I just forgot socks. So it wasn't a planned deal. You know, CBS and a shout out to Jack Victor. They do all of my suits. So a shameless plug right here, but they do all of my suits out of New York. And I leave all of my suits up in New York. So I don't travel with what I'm going to wear for that week. Since we were on the road week 1 in Green Bay, I usually take up a bunch of different color socks and stuff like that to leave up there for the season. And my dumbass forgot to bring anything. And so I was up there without any dress socks and just went barefoot for the day.
What's in the suit rotation? You got multiple colors? Did somebody eventually pick it out for you? How does that work?
It's unbelievable. So I had no idea at the beginning, you know, when I got hired up there last year, how it was going to go. And so I was asking them and they nicely connected me with Jack Victor. And so last year I did kind of 8 different combinations. I did 4 suits, 4 jackets and slacks and then did the same thing again this year. So I got a pretty good rotation now of 16 different things. We can go with a different look every week. I know AD likes that. Something fresh, something different every week. But yeah, that's how it works. I go neutrals though. Like I like navies. I like dark colors. I like grays. I'm not Nate Burleson who sits next to me. He goes with a little
He's
more
a little wild.
Yeah,
a little bit more colors.
Yeah, he goes with a little more color. It looks
Matt's
good.
got the custom suit.
Good.
AD's got the custom suit. Todd, why don't you tell him the last suit you got for that bar mitzvah you went at where we went shopping?
Yeah, I don't wear suits, and I think AD wears shorts and T-shirts on Sundays, so I don't think he's wearing any suits or anything. He's retired all his clothes.
Todd spent about $95 on a suit, I think, or a jacket. He was
for one wear. It doesn't make sense, right?
I mean, listen, I pull off whatever I can pull off. It's really more about the shoes, so that's
there you go.
That's my focus.
There you go.
It's the first thing you notice, no socks, right? You're looking at the shoes.
I just saw these white ankles just staring at me. I was like, I didn't hear what you said. AD started texting me on the side, and he's like, "What's up with my boy's socks situation?" I was like, "We'll ask him next week." Just kidding.
Thanks for watching, boys. Thank you for watching.
Hey, always support. You do a great job.
That you do. How about the Chiefs, man? 0-2. We talked about it last week. You know, for the first time in Mahomes' career. Now, considering this is unprecedented, Matt, we start with you, the quarterback. More pressure on him, or does he just go about this as just another week 3, even though he's never been in this situation before?
No. Listen, it's different, you know, for sure for them. But it's not like he hasn't dealt with pressure and adversity and those kind of things. And so, you know, as I kind of look at them, I think Mahomes is fine, right? And I think his kind of level-headed, measured approach to getting ready week in and week out, he's going to be just fine. The fact of the matter is he needs help, man. They got nobody left at the wide receiver position. And so, you know, they got to get guys healthy. Xavier Worthy has to get healthy. Rashee Rice, when he comes off of suspension, I think that helps. But they got to find a way to be creative and win games ugly, like Philly did, you know, really, like Philly did last week. And they were close, but they got to find ways to win games ugly. And, you know, it doesn't get easier for them, right? They got the Giants this week, I think. And then after that, I mean, it's Baltimore. You know, they've got a rough stretch in the first half of the season. They got to find ways to stay in the mix, in my opinion. But I think Mahomes takes the same approach he always takes, which is level-headed, get back to work, put in the work, and try and, you know, find ugly ways to win in the interim.
Do they, you know, from a media standpoint, you know, they've had a fairly obviously successful run here, and they haven't been, put to the test from the media. Zach, do you think like the media goes easier on them because they're losing and let's give them a free pass, or do they sort of
Man,
pile on? Like how
I
does
don't
the
think
media locally at
yeah.
least approach that?
I think, listen, I think to what Matt was talking about, right? I mean, they're not what they were in terms of their health. Rice out 6 games, Xavier Worthy with dealing with the shoulder injury. Then again, they lost only by 3 at home to defending champs. And you know who the leading rusher is right now? The Kansas City Chiefs?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick freaking Mahomes is the leading rusher, right? I mean,
it's not good.
He's accounted for all 4 of their touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, a young offensive line that's kind of growing into that. So no need to panic, but I think it is what it is, right? I don't think you're killing them for not winning a game so far. So I don't think the media is, asking for Andy Reid to be fired right now.
I was going to say, Todd, is 5 appearances in the last 6 Super Bowl. That's not good enough.
Yeah. No, for me, it's good enough. I just know, again, let's go back to Zach and the delusional media that we always talk about.
I
didn't know if he thought that they would come hard or what it would be.
And it's only been 2 games. It's still early. 2 games. We played 2 games. A lot of football left, man. A whole lot of football.
AD, would you be more motivated playing them? Like when you're playing the typical full strength Chiefs, it's probably not a fun task from a defense standpoint, playing against that offense. But since they're a little beat up and missing guys or whatever, does it give you more motivation to think they're beatable?
Nah, you're going to go with motivation anyway. You're playing against Patrick Mahomes, You ain't going to never sleep on that guy, right? He's been doing it consistently every single year. You understand that they're having a little troubles right now. You hope they keep that same, the same struggles when you play them. But again, you don't want to be the team where they turn the whole season around on you. So you're going to go in there with the same mindset to go in there trying to dominate and keep them at, that 0. So, I think you can sleep on Patrick Mahomes, man. You go in there with the same mindset, same game plan. You got to find a way to bottle him up, get to him, even though they got problems other places, but that guy can destroy a game by himself if you allow him. So
I do think, though, you talk about the Baltimore Ravens, the Chargers, the Buffalo Bills, like they smell blood in the water. And so that's where I think it's interesting. Like, I think the Chiefs are going to find a way to get themselves back in the mix. But I also don't think they're playing in the same AFC they've been playing in for the last 5 or 6 years, right? Baltimore's been good. Buffalo's been good. Cincinnati's been good at different times. But you get the emergence of teams like the Colts who are 2-0 right now. Denver, that Denver Colts game was back and forth and really good. The Chargers looking really, really solid right now at that 2-0 spot. They've got to find a way, if they're the Chiefs, just to stay in the mix, right, until middle of the season when they get some of those weapons back.
Right, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to be the 5 seed. Oh, shit, they're the most dangerous 5 seed in the history of football, right? Because nobody wants to play.
They could be the 7 seed, right? Come in as a 7 seed, and who knows? Who knows what they did? No one would want to see them, in the playoffs at that point.
In that game, Fox rules analyst Dean Blandino says, "I am done with the tush push. It is too hard to officiate." Love your guys' thoughts on that. And AD, I mean, you were in the trenches. I don't know if you ever went against the Eagles in that situation with the tush push. You did, okay. What are you telling you guys? Like, I mean, I know you're not giving up and say it's a first down, but it's almost like a first down. Walk me through it.
No, well, I think they just do a great job better. You got to think. Start with the, your center and your guards, but your center as a defensive lineman, your job is to trying to stay low and penetrate that and go low. But when you got 2 guys, a center stand low, pressing, keeping his feet moving. Then you got a quarterback that can squat 700 pounds, and then you got a running back in the tight end pushing them. It is hard to defend, but it's not unstoppable. They just do a great job at it with the people they got, and obviously with the quarterback they got. So I don't. It ain't something that you go at practice and you practice in the quarterback sneak, but you prepare for it. You study it on film. You talk about it, understand what you need to do to trying to slow them down and not allow them to do it. So I had some battles when I was in the trenches, and I was the one under the pile trying to stop them and getting smushed. And there's times where they got the first, and we did stop them before with the tush push. But it is hard to defend, but it is what it is. I think they just do a great job with it.
I kind of think about it like I sit next to Coach Cowher every Sunday, and he's been pretty vocal about saying, like, he's not a fan of this. It's not a football play. It's kind of like rugby, like a scrum, whatever. And I hear him, and the more I watch it, the more I kind of agree. Like the offsides, they were offsides.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was. I thought it came across like you could see it
So
from that
clear.
kind of sideline view. It was so clear that they were offside. So like I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I often thought when we were playing like really good defenses that were excellent on third down, Like, go make first downs on first and second down if you're an offense that's playing against a defense that's really good on third down. If you're a defense, shut them down on first and second down. Don't allow them to get into 3rd and 2 or 3 or less. Shut them down on first and second down if you want to stop it. So that's kind of where I sit. I think it was just a few votes short of kind of passing at the owners' meetings of getting it banned. I think the more we see it, the more we see comments like Dean Blandino's coming out, the more we hear guys like Coach Cowher talking about how, this shouldn't be a part of football. I think somehow, some way it's going to get voted on and pushed out here at some point.
If you could have squatted 700 pounds, would you have run the tush push in Atlanta?
I watched one of them. I think it was Chris Jones was on top of Jalen Hurts' back. And he kept going, and he kept going. I was sitting right next to Nate Burleson, and he was like, man, he's strong. I was like, if that was me, dude, I would have immediately collapsed to the ground, right? His strength's unbelievable.
It's
it really
different,
is.
Man. That's like, I consider like him and like Dak, like they got a strong ass lower, them limbs. Like there was times I went in to try to sack Dak, and he just duck his body, them strong ass legs and stuff. I'm like, how the hell he ain't go down? Like, this... It's just different, man. But yeah,
you wanted the collapsible chair like me, where it just went.
I would love that. I would love a quarterback to go down easy.
That's right.
One guy who went down, but for not that reason, Joe Burrow, turf toe. You guys ever had it?
I've had it twice. It's awful. So I had it my second year in the league. We were playing against Tampa Bay. Remember Styles G. White, I think, was who ended up on the back of my calf, went down, and it pops your toe back. It's awful. And then I re-aggravated again my last year in Atlanta on a Thursday night against the Patriots. And it's brutal. It's like it needs to be named something different because you call it turf toe and it doesn't sound all that bad.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the tearing of it sounds like something you should be able to play through. Really, I'm no doctor, but it's you've got these two bones in the bottom of your foot, right below, your big toe, and this ligament that connects those two bones to the base of the toe. It's tearing of that ligament, right? And so your toe's just basically dead, and you don't realize until you do it how much of your body weight is kind of supported by your toe.
Yeah.
And so you just can't move. So it's awful. I was surprised. Having gone through, Todd, you could probably speak to this too. I don't know how many of your guys have had to deal with turf toe, but at least when I went through it, I feel like surgery was a last resort. And everyone's different. We don't get to look at the pictures, but it's got to be pretty severe for Joe to immediately be going to do that surgery.
Yeah, it's like you said, people think it's a toe, and how can you not play through it? Obviously, all players, as you guys both know, Matt and Aaron, anytime a player is hurt, as an agent, we always go ahead and ask for a second opinion. No doubt about it. Because one, through the CBA, it's your right to do that, and so the teams expect that. And all the agents out there that represent players, they know the best back doctor, ankle doctor, who's the best foot and ankle guy. Sadly, I know all these doctors all across the country.
Bob Anderson, man.
Anderson, exactly. He was in Green Bay, back in Charlotte. Actually, not even practicing anymore, but he is still reading film and doing all the opinions and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one who looked at that. But you have great doctors across the country in various, specialties with different parts of the body.
He was the doctor who looked at it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Spent a lot of time talking to Bob.
Yeah, unfortunately, so have I. But for all the different player stuff. But yeah, you have a right to look at that, and then so they get the film sent, and if they can make an opinion off the film and it matches up with the team doc, then great, you can proceed. If there's a procedure needed or there's a disagreement, then you got to make a different plan. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of players don't necessarily like their own team doctor performing the surgery because of sort of that conflict situation, and players sometimes don't trust the teams. Did you guys ever deal with that, whether it was you guys or any teammates and that type of stuff? But for me, I'm always looking for the best opinion for the best path forward. And hopefully the second opinion agrees with the first opinion. I will tell you, one time I had a running back, Michael Bush, and he had a broken rib, and the team said, "Oh, you're fine. You can play through it. And we'll just put like a little jacket there or whatever." Meanwhile, the second opinion told us, you get hit wrong, you could die. Literally.
Wow.
That was the opinion because of a puncture situation. And so obviously we didn't play. But if you didn't get that second opinion, and God forbid you did play and something happened, what a disgrace, how horrible. So just like in life, anytime you get an injury, you always are, or an illness, getting second opinions is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, see, I ain't never had to worry about that. I kind of felt like our training staff, our doctors was pretty good. I trusted them. to the point where anytime I had a little banged up, any type of injuries, I stepped with their regimen, man. They always got me back where I needed to be. So I never really looked at it like that, right? Because I was like, shit, they gonna take care of me, right? Because for me they need me on the field to be able to be productive to help the team to win. And I trusted the guys, but I hear a lot of doctors and team doctors that they be like, nah, they're not that good, and so I never got to experience that because where I was at with the Rams, man, we was always top notch when it pertained to that. So,
did you have turf toe? AD?
Yeah, man, I did. Not as bad as needing surgery, and it's different for a defensive lineman, right? Because I'm pushing all my power off my toe when I'm getting off every single play, so it's tough. Limping around. There was games where after that I couldn't even walk. You know, you damn near can't bend your toes at all. But it's different for I can't even expect how it is for a quarterback. I understand, like, would you be able to get the ball back there, Matt, and just stay still and get the ball? Because I know for a D lineman, like pushing off is like my toes like this, and every time it felt like
you can't go anywhere.
You cannot go. You just can't.
You can't go anywhere. For me, it was hard. It was my right foot. Right. And so there's so much pivot and torque that you kind of put right off that right toe when you're throwing. Okay. You know, it's that back foot and you're kind of spinning around on that toe. And I had to play like flat footed, you know, like I couldn't get my weight onto my toe. And you adjust and
you couldn't have the same power throwing the ball when the toe like that too?
It's just different. Like you got to find other ways to create power. So that part was difficult. I missed 2 games when I did it. I missed basically 3 games. I got hurt at the beginning of the Tampa game in my second year and then missed 2 games after that. And at the time, it was they put me in a cast. They put me in a cast and like bent my toe back like up underneath this way. And the idea, I guess, was to sandwich the ligament together to help kind of heal and grow back together. And it was the most uncomfortable I've ever been, kind of in that cast, you know, with that toe kind of bent back underneath.
Joe's toe is his left.
It's his left, which I think is probably better for him long term. You know, in terms of like I still have pain in that toe, and mine. As weird as it sounds, I mean, we're probably talking about this too much, but my bones displace down into my toe or into my foot, which is one of the concerns they have when you have turf toe is that these sesamoid bones kind of drift a little bit down into your toe. And my big toe is basically, they call it hammer toe now, because the bones shifted so far back, the ligament, you know, it just got stretched to this point where my toe looks like this and still bothers me. So
Matt doesn't wear flip-flops to the pool. He's wearing Timberlands.
That's why I was sockless. I couldn't get into my dress shoes with the sock on because of the hammer toe.
He's not rocking sandals on the set of CBS.
Zach, after a game and a guy's banged up, right? And I don't even know if a player is made accessible to the media, but if he is, and you know he's hurt, clearly not in a good mood because he's hurt, do you tiptoe around that, or are you going straight for the jugular and saying, "Tell me what's going on"?
Yeah, no, you're asking if they are available. To your point, though, if you know, for Drake London, for example, in that first game, Todd, week 1 against Tampa Bay, he got that shoulder stinger, and he was not available after the game because he did not finish the game. But you're talking to the teammates, hey, how's he feeling? How's he holding up? What's going on? You're talking to the head coach. And listen, you know what's amazing to me is some coaches will tell you right after the game, yep, torn ACL. You know, Achilles is blown, but other coaches will milk it as long as they can. And that's what you're trying to figure out. The severity of something's going on. Is it week to week? You know, if it's a star player and it's Joe and he leaves the game, he's not coming back, you're going to want to know, right? So you're definitely you're not going for the jugular, Todd, but you're trying to ask and do your freaking job.
But that's changed a lot too, Zach, right? Like you're seeing stuff on Twitter now faster than ever before, right? And I feel like
there's one doctor out there who doesn't know any of the medical information.
Yeah.
He takes what happens and says, according to my breakdown of the slow-mo frame that Fox gave us or CBS gave us, I think it's a grade 2 sprain. You're like, what?
He's just assuming.
I think from the player's perspective too, you know pretty quickly, like when you're watching. Like I was sitting next to Nate in the studio and he was like, is it ankle? What is they doing? I'm like, it looked like a toe to me. It looked like a toe to me. So I think players have pretty good eyes for, you know, when somebody goes down, you kind of know exactly what it is.
Because definitely playing the game, we had some similar injuries like that, right? So you see certain things. I can see an ankle and be like, oh, that's a low ankle sprain, or see how it's pain. I'm like, that's a high ankle sprain. Like, cause we experienced that playing this game. You're going to get bumps and bruises and have some injuries, and, you know, certain things that you experienced, you went through, you can just tell from how a guy's reacting. you know, how he getting up, how he's moving. So I think that's just come with the nature of playing the game as long as we did, right?
Zach, you brought up an interesting point, though, about Kirk. You know, like, what does Cincinnati do here? Jake Browning, he's played a lot of ball for them, right? Started, I think, 7 games in maybe 2023 when Joe was out. And he had some good, he had some bad, you know, in that game, but got the job done. You know, I think it is an interesting question. And like, Todd, what does that look like, you know, from the Bengals right now? Like, and you're sitting there and kind of hearing, like, what is going on in the Bengals building from a front office perspective, taking a look at, you know, maybe what's available in the league.
I mean, they don't want to. It's no different than when the Cowboys had when Dak went down, or when any star player goes down, especially early in the season. They don't want to fold up and go home. They feel like they've got a good team, and they got a lot of they are 2-0, and they feel like they got a good team. They're searching every high and low. You know, all teams would. They're looking to see, is there an opportunity to trade like a Kirk Cousins? Does that make sense? They got to see if it fits in to their financial model as well, because obviously, you know, Kirk's getting paid a lot of money. They got to look to see, you know, do they like what they have already as their backup? Where are they on the practice squad? They want to backfill. So there's a lot of moving parts out there, and there's other teams that have needs, and maybe they feel like they're a little deeper at a certain position and they could trade somebody. And there's just a lot of moving parts, especially though this early in the season. They definitely don't want to just go with the status quo. They're going to be searching up and down to figure out what's the best path forward.
One guy who's I don't think it's matter if his toe fell off, is still kicking 65-yard field goals. Brandon Aubrey becomes the first player in NFL history to kick a game-time field goal at the buzzer, obviously in fourth quarter, and then a game-winning field goal at the buzzer in overtime. What a weapon. What a moment. What does that do, Matt, to an offensive team as a weapon where you basically know you're across midfield? All right, we got 3. He's automatic.
It's the best, right? When I played with Matt Bryant, that was the feeling we had, right? You know, our number was different. I feel like there's going to be a 70-yarder this year. We saw it in the preseason, but we're seeing kicks go in from 60 plus. And he probably had another 10 yards to where that football was good, right? With the 60-yarder at the end of regulation. It was good from at least another 10 yards. But to get back to it, like when we had Matt Bryant, there was a sense of belief from the offense, from the team, from the entire sideline. If we got the ball back with 38 seconds, whatever it was, and we hit his number, which was the 35-yard line, we always felt like if we got to the 35-yard line, game was over. And it creates this kind of sense of, it's not overwhelming. We know, we're not nervous. We know exactly what we need to do. Like, I remember asking him one time, hey, dude, we're going to get to the 35-yard line, and like, which hash do you want? And he was like, I don't give up. He's like, just get it there. And that makes you feel like, as a player, you're like, all right, man, like this is unbelievable, because, you know, you don't deal with the specialist all week. They kind of practice at their own times. They kind of do their own thing. They're off the field when you're out there practicing, and you might see them in the locker room a little bit, but you know, when you need them, you really need them. And when you have a guy like Aubrey or in my case, a Matt Bryant, I think it changes the entire complexion of your team.
As an agent, I can tell you it's unbelievable to represent a guy. If for example, I represented a guy like Aubrey, it would be unbelievable to have a client like that.
Is this for example, or is this, you know, is he going to be the first 100 million kicker in the history of football, Todd? Break it right here on our show, the Inner Circle podcast. Todd representing the best kicker in football, $100 million. Is that what you're going Jerry Jones with right now? Is what you're telling us?
No, I'm not getting into specifics, but I do think he's a great player, and I think he's worth every penny that he eventually will get. Yes.
There's incredible value to be able to knock it through the uprights when everything's on the line, especially from that kind of distance.
It's a game changer. I got to think it's a game changer from a defensive standpoint, AD, when you know you're going up against someone like that, like knowing that you don't have the luxury to keep giving up these yards because you're getting close to his range. Matt, from an offensive standpoint, all of that. Do you guys mess with the kicker at all on the sideline? Do you talk to him leading up, or do you kind of let him stay in his own little world and don't even speak to him? I wouldn't speak to him if it was me. I would just kind of I'm not going to bother this guy.
I'm letting him warm up just like I do any other guy. Before he go on the field, give him a helmet. Let's go, baby. Let's finish this. Let's go. That's it. I ain't going over to giving no raw speech. I'm letting them warm up, letting them be ready. But give them some pats and some love. Let them know we confident that you're going to get this done. So let's get it done, man. So just like any other guy, if it was the offense going out, hey, let's go. Let's get it done. If it's the defense going out, let's go get it done. Same thing if the special teams is going out. Give them some little love, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, my experience was different because I was coming off the field as they were coming on pretty much every time. I was like, no eye contact. I'm not saying
It's like a no-hitter in
anything.
baseball.
Was you nervous?
Or something like that?
It's
It's
like a
because
no-hitter.
you was nervous,
Like,
or you just didn't want to mess them up.
No, I just didn't want to mess him up. And usually it was like you were trotting off, and at least the guys I played with, right? Like I think of Matt Bryant first and foremost. I played the longest with him. He was in his own world in that minute, right? Like locked in, doing his own thing. He wouldn't have even made eye contact with me. But I think there is a sense of that, growing up around baseball and not talking to the pitcher when there's a no-hitter kind of thing. You just let them do their thing.
And he did it, man.
He did. He was so good.
Congratulations, Todd France, $100 million kicker in the A1 portfolio, man.
Let's clip that $100 million kicker. There you go.
Golly.
No, I don't
Speak
think
it
it's a
into
good clip.
existence.
I'll speak something into existence. But yeah, the value of the kicker is tremendous. I mean, you saw Koo, obviously, a situation where it didn't go for a team, and they lost the game. And then you saw, like, even on the college level, Georgia Tech Clemson, no time left. Georgia Tech kicker comes on there, booms a 50-plus yarder, wins the game. So, like, obviously the kickers are extremely valuable, even though they're not an every down type guy. It's a huge, huge role.
Listen, down in South Florida, they can use any points. Defensively, guys, I mean, that Dolphin defense, they allowed their opponents on the first 10 drives of the year to score on 10 possessions. I want you to play something. This is Mike McDaniel after the game, where over the game, Miami fans paid for a plane to fly by with a banner that said, "Fire McDaniel." It's been 2 games, and they're already calling for his ouster. And this is what Mike McDaniel, the head coach, had to say after the game about the communications issues that they were having between he and his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa.
To win games, you have to win the game.
I just want to make sure you guys heard that before. To win games, you got to win the game. But we will play it again.
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly. And that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
Critical indeed. So let me get this straight. Final 69 seconds of the game, the Dolphins have back-to-back penalties, a false start, and then a delay of game. Both McDaniel and Tua saying there were communications issues. No shit. So how does that happen?
No shit. That's bad ball, man. That's bad ball. It seems like they're all over the place right now. From the coaches, I'm an outsider looking in, right? So I don't really know what's going on inside the building, but I feel like everybody's not on the same cue. I think there's a lot of problems inside the locker room with the players. It seems like unhappiness and just trying to figure things out, man. And as that defense is giving up a lot, man, somebody gotta step up as a leader and speak up, man. I think that come down to leadership, right? And really, trying to get this thing together. It's still early. It's only 2 games, right? And you can be like, it is what it is, and let the season go to shit, or you can pick it up and change the whole season around, right? It's still early, man. And I think it come down to leadership really born up, and it start at practice. You practice the way you play. You got to come in with a certain mindset, man, working. If you half-ass in that practice, the leaders got to call the guys out, hold each other accountable, man. And if that's not getting done, man, it's gonna be a long season for them, man. A real long season, because it's just a seam all over the place to me from an outsider looking in. So
yeah, I mean, unless you're in there, unless you're in the meetings, unless you're in the building, you don't really know.
Yeah.
But what we get to see, the Sundays from 1 to 4, to me, listen, frankly, I think the offense played better in week 2. I really do. I think they looked better in week 2 than they did week 1, which is a step in the right direction. But you talk about those communication issues at the end of the game. I always felt, as a quarterback, play caller, head coach, in those kind of situations, it was more important to be decisive than correct. Right. And I feel like in those kind of situations, there's indecision. And that's what it feels like when there's communication issues, or it's slow coming in, or you're taking time. It feels like they're indecisive on the headset. And I just feel like you got to make a decision in those. It doesn't have to be the perfect play call. Give us a call. Let's go execute it. Let's make the play come to life, right? That's the player's responsibilities. You don't have to have the perfect play call or the perfect scheme or any of those things. You just need a call. Like, be decisive, sell it. And that's the same thing you're trying to do as a quarterback when you're in the huddle, right? Whatever comes in, you're trying to sell that to the guys. Hey, we got to go execute right here. Here's a call. Let's go for it. And it just seems like they're waffling. And I think that's some of the issues that you're talking about when it comes to kind of communication issues. The other thing I think is body language is important.
Yeah. Yes.
And the body language, and I know Mike. Mike was with us in Atlanta for a couple of years, and I like Mike. He's a good guy. He's a smart football coach. There's no question about that. But when you're in leadership positions, body language matters, right? Like how you carry yourself matters. How you present yourself in front of the podium matters because everybody sees it and everybody feels it, more importantly. And the body language of that football team right now and the body language of Mike, I think needs to be much improved.
Do these distractions like flying over, that, like Zach said, I think the banner flying over, does that affect the players? Does the media circus, the yo-yo where, that they're talking about one week that, Russell Wilson is cooked, the next week he's dominant, that one week they're talking JJ McCarthy is the answer, the next week it doesn't work out, he doesn't have a great game, whatever it is. Like, do all these up and down emotional roller coasters, do the players even pay attention to that type of stuff, or is it vary by player? How do you guys look at that?
No, the thing about football is the best thing about the game. If you play bad one week, the best thing about it, you got next week to make it up, right? So, the media needs something to talk about. So sometimes they blow things up and make it bigger than what it is. My bad, Zach, but that's the truth of it, right? Because some things you be like, it's not even that serious, and they talking about something, and we in the locker room, but like it's not even what they think. They're not, you know what I'm saying? So it come down to, the guys, know what they need to do, right? So I think the media blow things out of the water a little bit sometimes and make things bigger than what it is.
That's a consistent theme in our podcast so far is,
3 episodes
week
in,
to week.
I feel like it's ganging up on me. AD, I thought we were boys, man. Come on.
No, Zach, I'm
Stick
in
with
the
Z.
media world now, man. I'm with you.
Right, Matt.
Right?
So I should have
these are
said
real
Zach and
storylines,
Matt. My
boys.
bad. I left Matt out too because
That's
Matt's in
right.
the media too. So you guys,
These are real storylines.
Yes, they are
Listen,
storylines.
I think guys hear it. Like, I think there's no escaping it now, right? The world we live in, the access that everybody has to
social
to
media,
just constant, storylines. Like, guys hear it. There's no question about that.
There was one instance when I don't remember, when Shanahan was your coordinator, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, the whole narrative kind of going into the week, guys, was get Roddy White the ball. Roddy wasn't getting the plays. Nobody was going to Roddy. It wasn't going to Roddy. And I think Shanahan was so tired of saying, I'm not getting the ball to Roddy White. I swear to God, I think on your first 4 plays, you threw Roddy's way every single time. And you could kind of see Shanahan giving that middle finger to the crowd. Like, he didn't do it, but like, yeah, all right, you want me to throw to Roddy? There you go. I just threw it to Roddy White.
Well, let me say this. I love throwing to Roddy White. All right. I love whether it was 4 times in a row or for 8 seasons, however long I got to play with him. I love that guy, man. He's the ultimate competitor. Shout out to Roddy. He's awesome.
Roddy. All right, Todd's got a $100 million kicker, and he also has the highest paid guard in the history of the National Football League. Dinner on T. France. Congratulations.
Hey.
I'd like to give all the credit, though. No, my partner, Joe
It's a
Panos,
good week,
and I,
Todd.
Yeah. Joe Panos and I did it together, and he took the lead. He's a former O-lineman himself in the league. He's got some unbelievable success at the position, doing different guys like Penei Sewell and others. And so it was great working with him. He took the lead, so give the credit to him. But most importantly, just happy for the player.
4 years, $96 million. I'm curious about the comps, right? Obviously, if you're going in the quarterback position or the defensive tackle position, you're looking at sacks, you're looking at quarterback pressures. When you are out there negotiating for your clients that are linemen, what are you using to convince the teams that they are worth X?
Well, first of all, like, stats are overrated, period. I mean, you can look at a linebacker, and tackles aren't even an official stat. So you can look at 3 different sites, and they're going to have different numbers. So again, if it was all about stats, Zach, I would sit here and say, well, then this guy should be paid this guy should pay this. It's just not how it works. As an offensive lineman, there are no true advanced analytics that necessarily move the needle. So there is truth to that for the interior guy. But you look at this kid as a guy who's been to multiple Pro Bowls. He's been to an All-Pro. In 3 years, 2 Pro Bowls and an All-Pro. He's super young. His durability was ridiculous. And then so you start looking at comps as to see who he's comparable and how other teams view him. And when you start putting that all together and you paint the picture to the team, you're asking to be the highest paid guy, and it's pretty obvious. And so you look at all those different variables when you're doing a guy like him. Again, comps is a huge thing across the board at all positions, stats or no stats for sure.
Would you just show the opposing team, hey, this is why we're asking for the moon, because he went one-on-one with Aaron Donald and didn't need a double or triple team on the offensive line?
There's no video evidence that exists of anyone going one-on-one with Aaron Donald. If you find it, please send it to me.
Man, that's bad game planning if that's the case.
That's bad game planning. Yeah, there's no. I actually have. It's funny because when I talk to other players, and they get frustrated when they get double teamed, I swear, and I have so many pics of you being double and triple teamed that I send it to them to say, hey, well, listen, that's not as bad as this, and the best find a way.
That was my life.
True. Yeah, I mean, the best find a way. The reality is, if you're the best, you find a way, and AD became AD, and he was double and triple teamed, and he was relentless and found a way. And the best players find a way, because obviously everybody game plans against the best players.
And that goes to your point too, why stats are irrelevant at times when you're doing contracts, right? Because if AD had one-on-ones every time he went out, his stats would be much different, but his impact on winning, right? And that's ultimately what it comes down to, is how much are you impacting winning for an organization?
The last
100%.
time I saw Aaron Donald one-on-one was at the Senior Bowl when I was there watching him. I'm not kidding you. It was one-on-one. I don't claim to know a lot about football. I mean, I obviously am an agent. I know the basics, but it was so obvious that he was blowing. It was just boom, boom. I mean, it was like one quick move and just crushing the tackle dummy. It was actually comical.
All right. Can I tell a quick AD story? Can I go with a quick AD story here? All right, so we're playing the Rams in the playoffs out in the old Coliseum.
My first playoff appearance in my career too.
Yep. So your first playoff game. Steve Sarkisian, the head coach at Texas, is our offensive coordinator, and we go through this whole game plan. We've got all of our situational stuff up, and we play the first half, and somehow we've got a lead, right? We're up a little bit at halftime, and he comes into the locker room in the Coliseum, and he goes, "All right, listen, that whole game plan we put in, that's done." He goes, "I don't care what the down and distance is. The rest of the game, we're throwing quick game, screens, or we're running the football. That's it. Because if we do anything else, we can't block this dude." And it's the only time in my career where something like that has happened, where we scrapped the entire plan. We didn't care about down and distance. We didn't care about anything the entire second half, other than either running the football right at him because we could get our double teams on him, maybe get a run, or throwing screens or a quick game because we couldn't block him at pass protection. It was unbelievable. Sorry,
Hey,
Andy.
do you remember this? You probably don't. I remember you was backed up. I think it was like the first series in the game.
Yeah.
I remember getting through, boom, chasing you down. You get rid of the ball. I start barking at you. It was a blackout moment. I'm like, I gotta get his ass.
I was running for my life, dude.
You probably didn't hear that, but I was chasing your ass barking.
I was probably breathing so heavy because I was gassed trying to run away from you that I couldn't hear anything. That's great, though. You're barking at me.
Matt, what would you do if I heard someone barking at me like him? That would throw me off the rest of the game for sure. I'm like, I had no way I want this guy coming at me.
Yeah, luckily I didn't notice it. You're in your own world out on the field, but to have the presence of mind, as you're barking, coming after my ass. I mean, we were playing a different game. I was scared to death, and you were just out there having fun.
Oh, shit.
That's awesome.
I have a clip here. Speaking of talking trash, this is at the end of the Philly game against the Chiefs. I don't know if you guys picked up on this. Let me see if I can play this right here. All right, so one more time. It's end of the Philly, end of the Eagles game. One more time. So that was Jalen Hurts taking a knee. Chris Jones heard talking some trash to someone. I think it was Saquon saying basically you don't even have 100 yards. And then Jalen says, "Man, shut your ass down. We just won the game." When's the appropriate time to talk? Obviously, they're in the middle of the game for AD talking with Matt, but at the end of the game when you just lost, is that acceptable? Is there a code right there, guys?
No, a little mad, a little frustrated. Then they taking a knee right on you. It be like that sometimes, man. It be like that sometimes. But again, ain't much you can say when you lose, right? Ain't much you can say, but
no. And my favorite part of the whole clip is him getting right back into the cadence after he says it and taking the knee. It's perfect, right? He said exactly what it needed to say. Then he's like, hey, here we go. Turbo, sit hut.
Talk all that shit. I'm going to just shut the door in your face. We won. Bang.
Correct. Bam. There's nothing more you can say.
Nothing.
We got the 99 problems coming up. We got the 2-minute drill coming up. And I want to talk some real talk. Your reaction to what guys are saying immediately following the game. First up, we are going to cue it. It is Mr. Jared Goff. We have Jared here after his 334-yard, 5-touchdown performance against the Chicago Bears and his former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. Here is Mr. Jared Goff in an exchange with reporters after the game.
Jared, there's been a narrative about you that you can't survive without Ben or Sean McVay. You can't survive without Ben Johnson or Sean McVay. Today, man, I mean,
all it takes is one game, huh?
That's it.
Yeah, all right. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Today you had a great game.
Nothing to say about that. It's we had a good day today, and we'd have to have a really long press conference if you wanted me to talk about that. But we had a great game, and I felt great out there today.
What Jared really want to say?
Look at the damn stats. Now shut y'all ass up. How much we score? 52 what? Okay. That's it. Ain't not that what you got to say. The stats speak for itself.
I agree. Listen, I think number one, he handled it really, really well. But, like, what else do you want me to say? I think that's what he said. Like, what do you want me to say? I just went out there and I did that, and I'm going to do that because that's who I am. Yeah, exactly. That's who I am. And listen, Jared, good for him, man. Good for him. Good for him for going out there and perform rebounding. That's what good players do, right? They had a rough week 1. He goes out there and he performs the way he can week 2 and basically telling them to shove it up their ass.
And again, that's the media blowing things out off one game, off 1 week, and then he come back the second week and dominate. That's like, off one game,
fair,
huh? Okay.
Matt is a member of the media, and last week he said, slow your roll on Jared Goff. That's what he told us last week. So, Matt, thanks for representing.
That's right.
Hey, Zach, before you go to the next one,
I was saying slow your roll on the slander. He's going to come back.
Exactly. Good spin job.
What were you saying, T. France?
Real quick, AD, I forgot to ask you when we were talking about Tyler Smith, an unbelievable guard. Real talk, what guards did you respect when you played in the league? Real talk.
Man, listen, I don't like giving no credit to no offensive lineman, right? and my situation was different because I got a lot of double and triple teams, man. So I really never got the experience really like a true one-on-one consistently, right? You got one-on-ones and I did what I was supposed to do. Sometimes you make the wrong move and you lost, but a lot of people ask me that. It's like I probably had 100 different people ask me this question, and I always say, I got doubled and tripled a lot. So I really never got to experience enough one-on-one to be like, guys, you respect all linemen, even the ones you watch on film, you be like, I'm going to whoop his ass this week. You're going to respect him because every week's a new week, man. But you respect guys in the league. Like, I guess Zach Martin was a pretty solid guy.
I'll ask this. How about a unit, right? Because I do think offensive lines are kind of the sum of the parts.
That's a better question to ask, right?
Correct. Just put that in there, right? Todd,
yeah, there you go.
Terrible question.
And just
Which
for the record, it was
you
guys texted me and told me to ask that exact question, so I do it, and then you teed me up for a crushing. I didn't come.
Right.
I'm not a football guy.
So for me, it's hard to pick one guy, but units would be like the Eagles always had a great game plan against me. Later in my career, I think the 49ers started doing a good job of containing me and having a game plan, running away from me, making sure they had 3 guys on me all the time, blocking me. I think the Saints, a couple years we played the Saints in the NFC Championship, they always made it tough with oversetting the guard, sliding the center, and then choking down with that tackle punching. So it's really a triple team. So the tackles, so you don't got no B rush, no A rush. Only thing you could do is power work games. That made it tough. Like it was teams like that. But the Eagles was always with Kelsey, man. Like, as soon as he snapped, he's running over full speed, right? And it's like, as soon as I can't even get in my chop club. I'm mid-air. He's grabbing me already and made it tough, man. So it was guys like that always had 4 hands on me right away, or 3 guys, or chipping through the B gap or chipping through the A gap, made it hard, man. So that's a better question, Matt. The unit's better
Thank
than
you.
asking fucking one-on-ones I was getting. I ain't get enough one-on-ones, Todd, to answer that.
Hey,
that's right.
If you realize what a good agent I am, I actually teed that up because I know you don't get one-on-one, so I wanted you to have the ability to say that. It's like I walked you right into it. It's like
well done, T. France.
Yes, thank you.
Always getting out of every corner.
100%.
All right, next up here on Real Talk, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, their head coach, Mike Tomlin, after a loss to the Seahawks, and this was tough, guys. A 3-point game in the fourth quarter when Caleb Johnson turned his back on a live football on the kickoff that resulted in a Seattle touchdown. Here is Mike Tomlin following the Steelers' loss.
But really disappointed. We'll get better. We have to. We'll begin that process tomorrow. Questions?
Mike, what happened on that kickoff that they recovered?
It's poor judgment by a young player.
Is that something you specifically work on in practice?
Every day of our lives.
Man,
I think Mike said exactly what he thinks.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I think he said exactly what he thinks. I think that was as real as you can be. I mean, every day of our lives, we work on that.
Short and to the point.
We just got to be fucking better. Yeah. That's stuff we work on. We got to be better at it. He know that, and we bounce back. But
Shout out to
said
Mike
it.
T for leaving us speechless in the real talk
He
segment.
did leave me speechless.
He said it
I'm trying to
exactly
think of something
like
right
it
now
needed
off
to
the
be
top of
said.
my head.
He said it like it needed to be said.
And finally, here on Real Talk, going back that Super Bowl matchup, rematch from a year ago, Chiefs had a chance to take the lead, guys, in the fourth quarter, but the throw from Patrick Mahomes bounced off the hands of Travis Kelce, hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands. Intercepted by Philly, they go on to win. Here's Mahomes after the game when asked about that throw that hit Kelce in the hands.
Yeah, you want to put it low, but more on his body. You know, whenever you're in those tight quarters like that, you want to give it to him, especially a bigger guy, more on his body where he can catch it, brace for that contact. We knew the whole player would be looking for him. He was breaking to kind of make a hit, and it was just unfortunate. The ball bounced up in the air and went right to him.
I guess he got to catch with his chest, too, not just his hands, I guess. I love the guy, but, hey, you got to make those plays, man. What he really wanted to say is, I just got to put it more in his chest so he could use a little bit more, chest and hands, not just hands, I guess, So, shit.
I mean, honestly, Patrick speaking the truth, though, like we would talk about this all the time. At the front end line, we talked about throwing it towards the belt line, right? Down and dirty to protect those guys to get down. At the end line, we're talking about putting it at the hairline, right? So it's above the head. Those are things we do work on as quarterbacks and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a play Travis is going to make, right? And it's a play that I think Mahomes trusts Travis to make no matter where the ball is. But there's so much mutual respect there, given what these guys have done, that there's no way, Patrick's going to say anything other than that. And that's why I have so much respect for him.
And nor should
trust
he.
factor, too.
No.
They've been
They
an
had a lot of
unbelievable
success.
combination.
Yeah.
100%.
But he expects him to make them catches, though, right? He expects him to make them catches. He got to make them catches, and I know he's beating himself up that he even dropped that, right? But
absolutely,
we all make them plays. Them plays you watch on film, like how the hell didn't I make this play? It happens, man.
All right, that's all I got. Want to move on to 2-minute drill? We got 99 problems. What do you guys want to hit first?
Either way, good with me.
I'll do the 99. I got 3 of them real quick, man.
Okay.
So we might as well just hit it all.
3?
Ooh.
3?
Number 1.
99 problems, but Malik Neighbors is not one. I think they had a great performance. Russell Wilson looked good. Our offense looked solid, and he had a day. And a lot of chaos last week that was going on week 1. Came back week 2 and did what he was supposed to do. Dominated. And stand in that division, 99 problems. But Dak Prescott and that offense is not one. I think they was making some plays, playing good ball. Run game looked solid. Nice little 1-2 punch. Dak made one bad throw, but overall, man, I think they did enough. He did a lot of good things with his feet and played smart ball and found the way to win the game. And
I don't know about the bad throw. Sorry.
It was an interception. He threw an interception, though.
Guy ran the wrong route. Go ahead. Get it.
And the last one, I got 99 problems, but Cam Ward is not one. I think Cam Ward with the Titans, I was watching that Rams game. He was doing some things, man, extending some plays, moving in the pocket, making some hard throws across his body. He looked confident. He looked comfortable, man. So I think if he continue to work, man, continue to, obviously build the team around him, I think he's gonna be a special player in this league.
I'm with you on that one, man. I think Cam's gonna be okay. And the biggest challenge for him is gonna be weathering losing, right? And at no fault of his own, right? Like I think he's got to have more talent around him. But
exactly,
you said it,
100%.
The first touchdown pass of his career, man. The way he scrambled to the right, the vision to throw it back to the left, but also the ability to just flick it back that far.
Perfect pass.
Yeah, perfect pass. It was special. It's a challenge, though. I really do think that for young quarterbacks. I was lucky, high draft pick, and we won a lot of games and went to the playoffs my rookie year. But for the guys that are in positions where they're not, I think of like a Matthew Stafford who you played with. Being able to weather those storms as a young player, knowing you're not getting the results you want, but you're putting performances out there that you can build off of.
Keep stacking, yep.
Yeah, keep stacking those performances. I think that'll be the great challenge for him, but through 2 weeks, I love the competitiveness, love the poise, and some of the throws he's made have looked, really impressive.
He was even there talking trash a little bit with Verse. I see Verse was talking stuff to him a little bit, and he talking about, like, shut your ass up.
He took his helmet off after.
Man,
he's going to learn, though. He took his helmet off after that. He's going to get a little FedEx on Wednesday.
Yeah, man. I just like that, though. I like that. I like the competitive attitude, man. His mindset, man. I like that. I love that type of shit. So
yeah, that was good.
All right, Matt, hit us up. We got 2-minute drill.
All right, let me start the clock. 2-minute drill. Let's be decisive. Don't worry about being correct. Todd, there's no timeouts here. All right. So you got to answer it. No cuts, no edits. We're going. All right. Let me get the clock going. All right. The order is going to be Zach, AD, Todd. Okay. Zach, AD, Todd. Let me get my clock. All right. We got the clock here. Here we go. Ready and go. All right, Zach, there's a difference between being in studio and out in the stadium live. What do you prefer, an in-studio hit or a live from the stadium hit?
Live from the stadium, without question. The energy, the excitement, whether you're at Neyland Stadium, 100,000 strong, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, or even the high school rinks, guys. Anytime, any place, take me live in the field.
I'm with you. All right, AD, Rams, back-to-back games on the East Coast. Did you prefer to stay on the East Coast in that situation, or did you like to fly back to LA, get back in your own bed, then fly back east the following weekend?
Get my ass back home, let me chill with the family, prepare myself, and I fly back to the East Coast, baby.
You're not worried about the time zone change. I love it.
Hell no.
All right, Todd, we talked a lot about contracts that you were a part of this week. I'm curious, though, when you got veteran guys like that are signing maybe a second deal or an extension, is that more fulfilling, or some of the young guys that you're dealing with in the NIL world, that it's their first contract that they might ever had or their first deal? What do you find more fulfilling?
Yeah, that's a very tough question. They're both very fulfilling. I think it's different ends of the spectrum because the amount of money is different, but it's real money that neither of them have seen. Because if it's a veteran, he's had some sort of money as a rookie. And obviously it's a whole nother level as a vet.
Well,
and
maybe a little bit different money at Pitt and Boston College, but at Georgia, Alabama, Texas, it's probably the same amount of money.
Zach,
money's
I think
money,
this is,
baby.
You're eating into our 2-minute part.
Sorry,
go ahead,
Let's
Matt.
go.
Go on the
We
next
got 30 seconds left. I hear you.
Go ahead,
answer,
Matt.
Todd.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, go
Zach,
ahead.
here we go. 2 Monday night games this week. Are you a fan of the 2 Monday nights?
No. That
Yes.
cuts you off. Not even close. Old school. Give me Monday night, one game, 2 teams. Let's have at it. Prime time, baby.
All right, 15 seconds left. AD, you got to skip a workout one day. Are we skipping legs or are we skipping upper body? Doesn't look like you skip many, but what you skipping?
I'd rather skip legs. You see my upper body a little bit more.
Me too, AD. Me too.
We skipping legs. These are looking
That's
good.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes right on the dot. Well done. We only got through
Let's go.
5 questions, whatever it is. Todd, you got let off the hook.
Man, it was
Perfect. I
Zach's
like
fault.
that.
He cut Todd off, man. It's Zach's
Thank
fault. He
you.
messed up the time.
I was trying to help him out. He's been
Zach's
killing me
going
as the evil media man for the last 3 weeks. I had to help my guy out. Show him some love, though.
Unbelievable.
I love it,
We're
friends.
putting Zach in the
Because
penalty
we're buying
box
dinner
next
this
week.
week.
Perfect.
All right, let's wrap up here. Episode 3, Inner Circle Pod. What are we looking forward to this week, guys?
Week 3, my Rams is going to Philly, playing the Eagles. Looking forward to that game. It's just they get back game. So, and they playing in Philly, so hopefully they pull this one off.
I'm looking forward to, we got a throwback show in the studio this week celebrating 50 years of the NFL today. So we're going to have some special guests, which will be really fun. Todd, you're going to love my outfit, man. It's a throwback outfit.
You going vintage on that?
Yes,
going
vintage. We're going vintage. It's going to look good. The studio is going to look exactly like it did back in the 70s. So it's going to be a ton of fun, and looking forward to putting on maybe a little mustache.
That'll be distracting from the white ankle.
Sarah might say,
be
keep
good.
your at work, man.
I'll have socks on this weekend. Don't worry about it.
Perfect. That's good because everyone will be focused on the stash. For me, it's same thing as I say every week: guys staying healthy, guys being productive. So
Come up with something
across the
new,
board.
man. You got to be looking forward to something different.
Taking the kids to the homecoming football game Friday.
There we go.
There you go. I like that. I like that.
There you go.
There
I
you
like
go.
how you, Zach.
Look at Lions and Ravens. 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 elite teams, possible Super Bowl preview. We're looking forward to that. So going to be a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah.
Matt, enjoy the reunion, man. Whatever it's going to happen out in New York, the 50th anniversary, man. That was part of my childhood. I'm a lot older than you guys, but the legends that they had in the studio back in the day, Irv Cross.
Yes, one of the
Jimmy
originals.
Greek, the originals, man. They were the original shows. A lot of fun, guys. Much love. Appreciate you always. We'll see you next week for episode 4 of the Inner Circle Podcast. We'll see you.